Yep, so back again, deadlifting. As you're going to see in a minute or two, I've got a new bar. So the bar I was using before, it was a nice bar, and I wouldn't say it was a bad bar, but it just kept falling to bits all the time. It was such a pain because you had to keep turning the screw over and over again. It just simply would not secure, so I got rid of that bar and I've replaced it with this this bar you're going to see in a minute. I mean, this bar is far from perfect. It doesn't seem to spin, but it spins, but not very well. There seems to be some sort of sticking point to it, so I need to get it sorted out. Need to probably take it to bits and spray more stuff on it. But I'll quickly give it a spray without undoing it all. Okay, but I imagine the sleeves need coming off, and I'll sort it. But beggars can't be choosers. Facebook Marketplace, and it's better than keep adjusting the other bar. That was a pain. Okay, so what I've got planned for today is 15 sets of deadlifts, which is sounds ridiculous, really. 15 sets of deadlifts, but they're all triples, so 45 reps all told is the ideal. Whether or not that will pan out remains to be seen. I suppose when you know, as regards volume, it's as hard as you want to make it. So, you know, my personal thought is that volume is a driver of progress, more so than intensity. With intensity, I think that you can push it too far and become very, very exhausted and yet undertrained. I think if you just dial down the intensity a little bit, in other words, you don't take all the sets to failure. You know, you're going to train hard, yeah, but not intentionally looking for absolute failure. I think that's a better idea, and keep the volume high. You know, at the end of the day, you just have to work hard. Everything works if you work hard. But my personal preference is that the volume drives it, and the intensity has got to be up there, but not extreme. What I'm going to attempt to do eventually is use this. I don't know if you can see it here. If you can work it out. It's a little. It's about, I don't know. It's about ½ an inch thick. But this is a platform by which I'm going to attach some bands to the bar. So eventually I'm going to be doing some banded deadlifts. So again, it's all about, you know, variety, varying the stimulus, psychological stimulus as well. Keep it interesting. But the main event is just going to be five triples of straight weight deadlifts, and I'm thinking about 150. I'm going to guess 150. I could be wrong, could be right. We'll have to see it. Okay, I've done a little bit of warm up. I did some with the empty bar, 60 kilos. It's got 100 kilos on. You're going to see that in a second or two. So very briefly, I'll do 100, 140, and then we'll get on to the 150 for first triple. There's a lot of traffic. Pretty crowded here. It looks like I think it'll be alright. Don't know if you can see, there's 100 there. Okay, I'm going to get to 140. Yeah, previously also I had bumper weights on. And I think those bumper weights were a little bit, the diameter was a bit wider, so now it feels like the bar is closer to the ground, which makes it a little bit harder. I sold the bumper weights to accumulate a lot of new kit. So what I ended up doing is selling a lot of sort of like good looking branded plates and getting a load of these very plain plates, which were a lot cheaper. So I made money on the deal and then spent it on more stuff, including the squat rack. Also just more weight in general. So now I can scatter weight around my shed, so I don't have to sort of like scramble so much to find weight. Okay, so that's 140. So I think I better get a timer on now. I think I'm just going to go for a 3-minute timer, see how it goes. I mean, 3 minutes is not a lot for deadlifts. I find that generally speaking, I find deadlifting slightly less stressful in the cardio than squatting, and usually I can recover a little bit faster, but just see how it goes over time. Oh, I felt that at 140. Yeah, I think the most I've been up to in recent time is 160. 160 has been the max single. So 150 is going to be a bit of a challenge for triples. But that's what this game's all about, isn't it? A bit of a challenge. I'm sure I'll work it all out eventually. So put another 5 on. So yeah, like now I've got weights over here, just so I can slide them onto this deadlift bar. Could do a few more of them. That's loaded to 150. The collar. Get some more chalk. And we're going to do a triple. Okay. So yeah, first triple is probably going to be harder than the next one. Just getting accustomed to it. But, 3 20s and a 5, yeah, that's 150. So what I plan on doing is 5 triples like this, straight weight, vanilla flavour. Then 5 triples with the bands included. I'm not sure what weight I'm going to use. I don't know, let's say 100 kilos and a red band. We'll see. See how it goes. It's a complete guess at this moment in time. And then finally I'm going to do some platform deadlifts. So I'm going to add more platform to this platform. Okay, so on a triple. Come on, let's have a nice triple. Come on. So that felt awkward because this plate is a bit deformed. I mean, it's got the right, it's still 20 kilos, but it's a little bit deformed, so let me spin it round. That's it. Yeah, so, I mean, these blue plates, well, you can't see them now, but the blue plates, I've had them for ages. I've got them very cheap because, as I say, they've had some abuse. So they're a little bit deformed. A little bit. Should have set them up properly, but that should be alright. Let's write down 3. So, 3-minute timer. I'll write that down, 3 mins. Oh, you got 150 for 3. Okay, straight weight, vanilla flavour, no tricks. No straps, mixed grip, trusting my elbows, going to be okay now. Babied it for long enough. I've got another set of 3. So what I plan to do, so this is a plan that's been coming together for quite a while, gradually tweaking it into existence. But I think you can see there is some method to the madness, some consistency. So bench squat, bench deadlift, bench squat, and then on Sunday just do a bit of upper back stuff. That's my weekly plan. The reps are going to vary from 2 to 6. So on all these big lifts, so most of the session is going to be a big lift, and the reps are going to vary between 2 and 6. Okay, obviously it's triples today, but between 2 and 6, changing every session. Okay. Yeah, grip's not great either. That's I suppose that's a result of using the straps. I mean, in the past it was never an issue for me. I could always, yeah. I never failed a deadlift through grip, but I could, yeah, thinking about it, never failed a deadlift through grip, and I could get a big weight off the ground, so they'd always stick around. I don't know, just above the knees seemed to be the main sticking point. Now what causes that? I know some people say they can analyse these things and tell you why you're getting that sticking point at that exact place, but I'm gonna say there's a very, very simple explanation. The weight is too heavy. Yeah, but I was always one of these people that could psych themselves up and get pull a good competition lift. Now I'm a bit older, I look back at that, and you know, I'm surprised I never got injured on it. So I'm no longer any great proponent of getting wildly excited and lifting. Like more like the accountant. Get the numbers. Okay, so third triple coming up. Yeah, third triple done. Yeah, for some reason, which utterly escapes me now, I decided to fish out my old singlet. I think it's, the last couple of days the weather's been decent, and I didn't even realise I kept this one, but I didn't really decide to fish it out. I just found it. I thought, oh, not warmed up for some years. Let's get my singlet on. Play the part. But as luck would have it, feels a bit nippy today. I'm getting warmed up now. So it's 3 threes, 2 more to go, hopefully, all being well, if the plan pans out. Seconds. Do these and I'll try and set the bands up, see what happens. Probably going to be our next project, working out how to set up the bands. I mean, today I've got an idea in mind, but I don't think it's very good. Okay, 3 reps. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a lack of spin in the bar, but I want to keep the deformed part of the plate at the top out of the way. Somehow it's dropped back down to the floor again. No worries, easy fix. Okay, so that's 4 threes. Can we get another one? 5 threes, that's a good start. 5 triples, 150. just a start, as I say. So I've actually wrote down. So this is actually going to be a 12-week plan. So today it's triples, obviously. Next week it will be sets of 4. Then I'm going to have a deload, which is a novelty for me. But I say I'm going to try and be more planned and more programmed. A bit more anyway. And we'll see how it goes. So today is triples, next week is 4s, next week it's just going to be a couple of sets of 6, 2 sets of 6, that's a deload. Okay, then it's going to be 5s, then it's going to be triples again, and then another deload. So on and so forth. It's going to vary quite a bit. And right at the end of the cycle, so week 12, which is what I'm hoping I'm going to get to, all being well, you know, if the body holds up. See, I mean, that's the problem. You can set all these wonderful schemes out, but how does the body react? But at the end, I've just got it scheduled to do some doubles. So I'm not going down to singles, doubles. Okay, last set 3, then we'll do a different setup. Okay, they were not bad. They weren't easy, but not killers. So the next time I do triples, which will be in about 4 weeks' time, according to my plan, that weight will go up. Okay, so the bands. How are we going to do the bands? So I've got this. As you can see, it's about ½ inch thick. So that's a factor involved. That's one factor. I'm going to be raised by ½ inch. Small factor, but it's a factor. Yeah, that's flat. So I've got this red band. I'm going to attach it to both ends of the bar. Oh, I need to take some weight off. So I'll go down to 100. See how that pans out. So 100 kilos. And a red band. That's the band. Should have stripped the weight off, but no matter.
that seems a bit easier on the other side. Okay, so 100 kilos in a red band. Let's line it all up perfectly.
Powerlifting is a great sport for someone with ADHD. You can set everything up exactly the same. Okay, so what are we saying here? 100 kilos on a red band. I'm going to guess that should be, I'm just going to guess that should be easier than doing 150 kilos. I'm pretty sure of it. But it's deceptive. I mean, sometimes you know, deadlifting with bands, it can become very, very heavy at the top, depending on the setup. I'm sure there's a better setup to be had than this, but I'll work it out one day. That's my next project, work out how to effectively set up bands on the deadlift. I used to have some little 12-inch bands, they were great. You can just put them over the bar and put your feet inside them. That was it, done. Little deadlifting bands. In fact, I might have a look on Alibaba, see if I still got some. All these things tend to be a lot more expensive these days. So I've actually got my feet under the bar, so I'm not standing on the bar, on the band. "30 seconds, say more triples. All on a 3-minute timer. Well, that's clever. Band's gone. Ah dear.
Old band. All that messing around, setting that thing up.
Try again. Okay, these are still useful. Use them for other purposes. Try knotting it quickly. There you go. Oh yeah. Try again.
Bands. Pain in the bum. Get that through, that's it. Oh. Well, it's a lot easier to put it on this end because, well, when everything tightens up it's hard to manoeuvre it. Try again. Okay. I'm hoping the setup is not destroying the band.
Could be.
Okay, a bit easier, maybe.
yeah, conceivably not a good setup for the health of the band. Not sure. We'll see. Anyway, try again. That felt quite light, so I am in fact going to go 110. 110 red. Okay, if he snaps again, that's it, abandon the idea. No! Yeah, very bad idea by the looks of it. That's costing me too much. Not doing that again. Okay, there is an alternative. Not happy about that. Not happy about that at all. It looks like I'm going to say that the setup there was snapping the bands. Okay, so this is a tried and tested method. Not bothered with the platform at all. I'll work out a better way of using it. Get rid of this thing. So this involves, first of all, put the collar on. That's pretty simple. Just wrap it around the bar and under my feet. Not ideal, but there you go. So you got the one band, double it like that, lay it in the middle of the bar, one side under one foot and one side under the other foot. Okay. Now, even though it's only one yellow band, that's now doubled up twice in effect, so that's going to be quite a bit of resistance. We'll see. So I've got 110 and the yellow band. Okay, I'll stick at that. Now I won't. I'll put a bit more weight on it. That's 115, the yellow. Okay, let me reset up this band a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's been an expensive lesson in how not to set up the bands. I'm not, I say expensive, you know, I bought them in bulk years ago. They're not particularly expensive if you know where to get them. Okay. Problem with this method is that, you know, if you don't want to keep resetting, you've got to stand here immobile. I'll work it out. I need to write it down as well.
So that one was 110 and this one's 115.
Sticking with the triples. And that 110 wasn't particularly difficult. But as I say, I think as long as you're accumulating volume and it's difficult enough, it doesn't have to be absolute balls to the wall intensity every set. You know, I think the last video I did with the squatting, I did 5 triples. They were really hard. It really takes a lot out of you. So I think if you avoid the absolute end of intensity, it pays off in terms of recovery. There's a high price for going all out, absolute failure training. And it all works though, end of the day, it all works, but it's a case of good and better. Okay, so I want 3 with this. Oh. 3. Yeah, still quite like that, I think. I'm going to go heavier again. I'm going to go 120. Bit more joke, I think. Yeah, it's all a learning curve. I'll get it sorted out. But I know I've been all over the place since I started putting these videos up. But hopefully you can see that it's taking shape. It's evolving into something, into a reasonable arrangement, a reasonable program, let's say. And I'm consistently hitting these power lifts, and I'm consistently upping the load on these power lifts. So that load varies by intensity and volume. So even though I'm waving both, I'm varying both the intensity and the volume, the idea is that over time both will go up, but independently. So it's not simply a case of add more weight to the bar every week. No, I'm waving the load. Okay, so third set of 3, so it'd be 110, 150, 120. Just feeling my way essentially. Trying to find a decent weight for triples. Okay, not bad, not bad. I am going to dare another 2.5. I need another 5 kilos. Call it 125. So 110, 115, 120, 125. So I can't say that this session is slaughtering me. I would say that compared to the previous squat session, which I did Tuesday, so today's Thursday. So the Tuesday squat session, that was really hard. Probably because I wasn't completely recovered from the squat session before that. But I did give it, 3 days off. So it was Friday, then Tuesday. You know, that's a fair chunk of time to recover from a session of squats. So yeah, that Tuesday session I felt it really hard. But this one's not been bad at all. So there's a bit of slack in this one, definitely. Could go a bit heavier. I'm not saying it's easy, it's just not all out. I think it's enough. Oh yeah. Okay, a few seconds. And this will be set number 4, I believe. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that weight for today. So, another set with this weight. So 110, 115, 120, 125 twice. With the quadruple yellows. So they're not doubled and doubled again. So I call them quadruple yellows. I mean, this is a very simple band setup. Probably over time I'll move from the yellows to the reds. But just leave it as it is, it's good. Like I say, I mean, you don't need to use bands. You know, you don't need to do anything in particular. But I think that the variation helps in terms of physical stimulus and psychological stimulus. I mean, just going in and saying, okay, 15 triples on the deadlift, and you just plug away. Yeah, you could do that. That's not so bad actually. 15 triples is not ridiculous. But I think it does make it a little bit more palatable to do three different deadlift variations for sets of 5 apiece. So 5, 5, 5 makes it more interesting. Okay, after this I think I'll probably do so after the deadlifts all together, I think I'm going to do some curls. I was thinking, can I do something useful? Can I do something to make me stronger? No, I'm going to do some curls for vanity. Nice. I want to keep this elbow going. Strengthen this elbow. Hopefully I'm strengthening it. No, I'm not making it worse. But this has been my nemesis for almost a year now. Very long term issues. Okay, another set of 3, last set on these banded ones. Yeah, good, good. Okay. So now I suppose I've got to replace 2 sets of bands, or 2 bands, but I've got one here. This is a new one. I mean, I've had these in bags for like, I don't know, 2 years. You know, I just bought a load at one go. I've got some indoors. So, yeah, I'm not massively concerned about breaking bands. And I say I do use them. Okay, so platform deadlifts. So it's on 125 now. What can we go to? Okay, let's go to 140. 140. So that's take off a 2.5. That's 120. And then I add a 10 on each side. That's what it is. That's got it. So yeah, let's set up 140. That's a good guess. So 140 with a platform. Now that should feel not far off the 150s. Well, it should feel, I don't know, it might be harder, we'll see. So 2.5 off. On. Okay, this is the platform. So you can see the thickness, about 1 inch or so. So I'm going to stand on that. Oh, I should have kept my bumper plates. I need to mess about with this constantly. What is wrong with you? Why does it keep returning to this position? I don't know if you can actually see, you know, when I lift the bar, but you'll see that the plate is deformed. It's all been smashed for about 4 inches at the top. So when you see the bar at the top, and I lift the bar at the top, you'll see that it's all smashed, and yet the bar spins in such a way, or for some reason, that the smashed part always goes to the floor, and it's just a pain. It doesn't feel right. to go. So now we're back to 140, which is not far off where we started at 150, I suppose, plus the platform, so this should feel quite hard again. I mean, I like variations that make it harder. And never been keen on wrap pulls. I always suspect that wrap pulls, whereby you sort of like, you know, you lift from your knee or whatever, you know, because you can put such a massive amount of weight on it, because it's only half a rep, I imagine that it's more possibility of injury. I could be wrong, but that is my suspicion. That wrap pulls could possibly lead to more injury because of the amount of weight involved. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, hard enough, but about right. Okay, so sets of 3 on this platform. I suppose it's a fairly gentle platform, not so bad. Yeah, these plates, these blue plates, yeah, even on this side, it's on this side, but both of the handles have been fairly smashed. What happens is that when you set the bar down on the floor, it's hard to move the bar towards you, so you feel like you know, it's you're lifting a bar that is quite distant, which is obviously is not good. It's not what you're supposed to do for lifting. You know, you want the bar to be pretty close to your shins and eventually probably touching your shins once you get past the initial inch or so. Oh, it'll all wash out in the end. I'll make it work. I mean, I could put some normal discs on and put something underneath the discs. Okay, another set of 3. Quite hard, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, in terms of difficulty, they feel about the same as the 150 at the beginning. I suppose in a way that's how it should feel. It should, you know, every set as I go through the workout should feel pretty similar. I always find that the first few sets, you're still in effect warming up to them. So you're not fired up yet, so they feel quite difficult. And then when you're firing all cylinders, when you're fairly warmed up, and your system's going, then for a couple of sets it might feel easier, but then the fatigue sets in, and then every set becomes progressively slightly more difficult. But it should feel quite even. So for example, when I was doing the band work, I thought, I set off with 110 on the yellow bands. I just felt too easy. So I immediately thought, let's up the weight a bit. But I didn't know what weight to put on it. So 110, 150, 120, 125. So that 125 seemed reasonable. So 150 off the floor, straight weight, felt more or less like 125 with the yellow bands, felt more or less like the 140 with the platform. All pretty much equivalent in terms of effort. Which is good. That's what I like. Yeah, it feels quite warm as well now. Now that I've been busting my sack on these. Okay, 3. Yeah, generally speaking, I find deadlifting suits me more than squatting. Not sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, deadlifting suits me more than squatting. Actually, it might be that. I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that for most people, squatting is somewhat more technical than deadlifting. And there's more factors to consider. The setup. Whereas for deadlifting, there's not much of a setup. I find squatting is harder on the cardio. Yeah. I'll tell you another factor that I think is involved as well, is that with deadlifting I feel very, very comfortable not using a belt. Well, if I don't use a belt on squats, my squat goes down no end. Yeah, obviously if you practice without a belt for a while, you'd have climbed a test to become normal, I suppose. But the simple fact is that I've always squatted with a belt. Well, just about always, yeah. Whereas a deadlift, yeah, I mean, initially I set off with a belt. I mean, if you think about it, if you think, like most people think, the belt is for safety, the belt is going to save your back, which of those two movements is worse for your back? And most people instinctively say deadlift. Therefore, the logic dictates that if you're going to use a belt at all, use it on deadlift. But I think that all of that thinking is fairly faulty. I don't think the belt does anything in terms of safety very much. What it does, it makes it easier to lift things, lift more, heavier weights. Yeah, it doesn't make them safer. It just gives you more capacity to lift heavy weights. Problem with being a deadlift is that it gets in the way. The position of it. Maybe if I had one of those little narrow belts, those little, Joe Weider bodybuilder belts, that might be more useful for deadlifting. Okay, I want another triple, so Okay, this is the fourth one I've got. Fourth one, number 4. Okay, one more to go. And that's deadlifting done for today. So, maybe what sounded quite ominous, 15 sets of 3, the way that I've done them is not so bad. Definitely feels easier than the last squat session anyway. One issue is that these calluses, I find that with deadlifting, you're very, very prone to ripping a callus. I've got these managed quite well, and you can't see it to the chop. But last time that I did kettlebells, I got a very small tear on my callus. Pulled a bit of skin off, but I think precisely because I've been managing these calluses, it wasn't very dramatic as it turned out. But I can just feel it now. It's not bad at all. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about when you pull off a hefty, well-established callus. It can start. It stings like hell. Eventually, anyway. Initially it don't feel so bad, but give it a couple of hours, it stings like hell, and you're struggling to use that hand for a couple of days, let's say. Luckily, myself, well, probably most of us, we don't deadlift more than once a week. So generally speaking, if you pull a callus off, the only thing that you really definitively need it for is deadlifting. It's not such a big issue when you're doing squats or bench presses, but it's a pain. But definitely, when you don't want to be doing deadlifting with a ripped off callus. But generally speaking, if you do rip one off, you've got a week to recover before you deadlift again. So I suppose that's a mitigating feature. But anyway, who wants to pull a callus off? Nobody. So yeah. Follow my excellent advice and manage your calluses. Okay, last triple. That's deadlifting done for today. Yeah, hey, killed the deadlift dragon. The deadlifts from hell. The gates of hell will not prevail. That's it, triples. Yeah, every set was a triple, so 15 sets of 3. Yeah, hey. Okay, and I'm going to treat myself to some bicep curls, which I don't think you need to see, so I'm going to turn off the video. That was good. Apart from smashing my belts up, my bands. So that wasn't good, definitely. So right over left and under, left over right and under. There we go. Yeah, you can use it for other things. Live and learn. Okay, my friends. See you next time. Yeah, hey.